Hi, this is Mike Fry, and you are listening to the We Fucking Told You So podcast. Today is February 3rd, 2025, and today's installment is The Right-Wing Pickpockets. Watching Republicans fleece their supporters and the country is like watching a team of professional pickpockets work a crowd of unsuspecting tourists. One of our favorite cities in the world is Florence, Italy. The people, food, wine, art, architecture, history, and other aspects of the culture there are like no other place. The beauty is breathtaking, the people are friendly, inviting, and passionate, the food is exquisite. There is, however, an unfortunate dark side that has always been present. Gangs of pickpockets roam the street, making easy prey of uninformed and unaware tourists. The thieves target tourists specifically because they're often ignorant and unaware of the tactics used to steal their cash and, as bad or worse, their key documents, including passports and other IDs. Using a variety of different methods that all follow a similar overall approach, the pickpockets work in teams to first distract the victim as another team member goes in for the steal. They rely on people's lack of ability to focus on multiple things at the same time. If someone bumps hard into your front, you are less likely to notice the stealth hand reaching into your back pocket. It is exactly what Republicans are doing right now. Only the heist in progress is the U.S. economy and the bank accounts of their ignorant supporters and the rest of us. Just like when watching the victims of the pickpockets in Florence, to see the crime in progress, you need to step back and look past the dramatic distraction to the more subtle action going on behind the scene. Case in point, Republicans push for massive tax cuts for billionaires that they are including in their proposed budget reconciliation bill, while also planning to slash Medicaid benefits for 22 million of the most economically vulnerable Americans. Policies that enrich themselves while squeezing even more cash from the people at the bottom of the economy. To grab even more cash, to stuff into their own bulging wallets, they've also implemented massive tariffs on goods from Mexico, Canada, and China, on everything from food, drugs, and cars to computers, phones, and building supplies. These tariffs are taxes that will be paid by middle and lower income people that will be used to further enrich some of the wealthiest people in the world. If you pay attention, the heist isn't even subtle. Notice how, before the election, most of the discussion from Felon 47 and his sycophants was whining about inflation and high prices. They promised to address those things, quote, day one. Yet instead of doing that, they're enacting policies that will raise the costs of, well, just about everything. They've already removed the cap on prescription drug prices so that they can engage in even more price gouging. Now, with tariffs taking effect, you can expect to see skyrocketing costs for everything else. The cash from the tariffs will go directly into the U.S. Treasury, where Elon Musk himself has already strong-armed his way in, even though he has no security clearance, and even though he's been meeting secretly with Vladimir Putin for more than a year. The theft in progress is so obvious that the criminals need to have some big distractions. So they invent imaginary monsters like immigrants eating people's pets and schools cutting off children's genitals. Oh, look over there! Don't watch what we're doing over here. And sadly, the press goes along because they are engaged in the distraction. Distractions work because people are attracted to them and the press wants their attention. We would say that it's shocking, except that it isn't. What else would you expect from a man whose businesses and charities were shut down for fraud, whose business associates have been imprisoned for fraud, who incited a violent insurrection in order to hold on to power, and who clearly and objectively stole the votes of millions of people in order to claim that he won the election when he really didn't? It's all just one big, highly predictable heist in progress if you're paying it any attention at all. The link between Republicans and the pickpockets goes even deeper than that because, as typically happens when right-wing fascistic policies get enacted, petty thievery always increases. As Italy's been shifting farther to the political right, pickpocketing in the country has been skyrocketing. In the last year alone, pickpocketing has more than doubled in Florence. That's because when people get squeezed hard, they become desperate, and desperate people do desperate things. Under the Biden administration, petty and violent crime dropped dramatically. Now, as it rises again under the control of the third Antichrist of Nostradamus, look for Republicans to pin the blame on one of their favorite imaginary monsters or to invent a new one to keep the distraction going. When they do, you can bet we're going to scream, "We fucking told you so." You have been listening to the We Fucking Told You So podcast. Please like and subscribe and share on your social media. Thanks for listening.